Hello everyone and welcome back to another Poppy Builds video. Yay! Today we are back in Newcrest and I am building another suburban family home. So this home is going to mirror the other two homes that I have recently built. You can find those other builds in the Building Newcrest series. This is actually my second attempt at completing all of Newcrest. The reason being I didn't complete the first one is when I sent my laptop in to get it fixed for the first time, I forgot to save my worlds. I didn't export them, and so I thought it would just be more fun to just start over instead of downloading them from the gallery. Because also, like, a third of I don't know, some of them also didn't transfer onto the gallery. Like, sometimes, you think you did put it on the gallery, but it actually turns out it's only in your personal save files. So anyway, I decided I was going to restart the Building Newcrest series, so you can find that playlist on my channel. But this specific section is suburban houses that are very blue and more traditional. They're less modern exterior wise. Interior, they're based on the people, like the family I'm building for, but the whole entire idea is that each house on this build is on this like row, this little section of Newcrest is like traditional suburban modern house, not modern houses. So all of the houses exterior wise are going to match. And you can find not the one on the left, but the one on the further left. That is that build is called a devious home, and that's currently one of the sneaky builds. So that house has the only non-family people living in it. It's just one person, unlike the rest of the houses which have children, or at least 1 to 2 in it, like couple-wise. You understand what a couple is? It's 2. There's a spare. There's a pair. There are spouses. Anyway, so today's build is going to be, again, exterior-wise, very traditional, very suburban, but interior, I wanted it to just be a little bit more expensive and look a little bit more fancy. It's mainly I just wanted it to be a little bit more expensive, like the family that has just moved in. They have just moved in, like this is their new family home. Wow, can't believe it's their family home. No, this is their new family home, and they're like have planned to live in it for a long time. Like it's their long-term family home. Like they want to live in it for like 15 to 16 years, and because of that, they've decided to put in some fancier things in the house to really make it feel like them. Because even though they're not like super big fans of the exterior, they love the neighborhood, they know it's great for their kids. So that's the concept. They've moved into this house mainly for their family, and probably once they are retired or their kids have moved out, they'll move into a much more modern space. But this is definitely a family home. It's for the Dawson Lees. That's the name you can find this build under on my gallery and in The Sims, and the name of this YouTube video. Yay! So that's the premise behind this build. It took me 4 minutes to explain really nothing important, but that is the idea behind it. It's another suburban home for a family that has just started their family. Does that make sense? And the couple, I don't remember the names I gave them, but they only have 1 toddler and are planning on having 3 kids in total, so they wanted a 4-bedroom house, and that is what they bought. So they're planning for the future when they bought this house. Now for the backyard, I normally don't decorate backyards first, but because I was mirroring it based on how I had done the other houses, I knew that I wanted the backyard to have a pool. So that's why I started designing the back first, because I already had kind of a little idea of how I wanted it to look based on how the other houses looked. And I also wanted the pool to be just a little bit different, so what I decided to do was actually make the tiles rock, which I thought was dark and moody and really suited the mindset I had for the family I was building for. Like I told you, I thought that they were very like fancy and maybe wanted to spend a little bit more money, and so you can see that in their pool because it's made of rock. And it looks very fancy. It would be very warm in the winter. I wish you could actually swim in pools in, can you swim in pools in the winter in The Sims? Like, I know there's, objects that you can make for the bubbles. But I don't know if you can swim, because isn't it too cold? But if there are bubbles, does that mean it's heated? Interesting questions. Interesting. But yeah, this is roughly the backyard. I decided to decorate the patio later just because I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it yet. And then interior wise, I really wanted it to look nice. And so I also wanted it to look expensive, so I really don't know if I captured that well with this flooring, but I think how I incorporated the wallpaper, which you will see in a second, made it look very flowy, which made to me was like, it doesn't need to look expensive, but it looks really nice. And that is what I think you can see. And I did that by using the Parenthood wallpaper because the like wood siding on the wall was just close enough in my mind to the floor, like the wallpaper on the floor, the wallpaper on the floor, oh my goodness, was close enough to the wallpaper on the floor that it kind of flowed, and so that was my idea. And then for wallpaper, I wanted to keep it very simple, except for in the kids' bedrooms, in which I wanted it to just be very vibrant, bright, and colorful. So all of the rooms have this like blue hue to it, because I thought to myself I really liked how the top of the wallpaper matched from room to room to room, and that is that. But those were my ideas behind the wallpapers, and I liked it. Also, I don't know if this is happening to anyone else, but when I leave a house and come back to build it again, the lights are darker. Like the amount of lighting that these tiny little lights, saucer lights, give off, it's just so little. So I have to replace the lights and then it gets bright again as it was originally. I'm gonna have to complain because this is happening to all of my builds now and I cannot figure out why, because it was never an issue before. So at certain aspects of like all of my builds now, it's darker than I intend. But like, I still have lights there, so it's very frustrating. So if this happens to you, please let me know, because I can't tell if it's like a glitch only with my computer or if it is a Sims glitch. And I hope it is a Sims glitch, because I do not want to send my computer away. No, I'm just kidding, I'd have to reinstall Sims, but I don't want to do that either. So please let me know if that's been happening to you, but it is just so frustrating. So if certain rooms and stuff are a little bit darker, I do apologize. I've been trying to replace the lights in every room I go, but as you can see in this kitchen one, I forgot a little bit. I just forgot. / didn't really start noticing it until I was like, why are some rooms brighter than the other one? It is really frustrating and I can't figure it out. So please, please, please let me know if this is happening to you. Now, moving on from the lighting situation, this is the kitchen, if you couldn't tell. I wanted it, again, to look very fancy, very polished, and I think using marble countertops really encapsulates that. And I did one thing a little bit different from the rest of the houses, and that was give this house a bay window. I think it just suited the build really well, and let's say that they renovated the space. I definitely think they would have a bay window. I wish I had found a bigger one, but the other bay window that's like super big is the one I think from Laundry Day, and it's like a full-length window, which is a bit too big for my goals. So if there was like a happy medium, I would have added that, but I didn't want one with shutters, so that's the one I went with, and I think it suits the space very well. And I really, really wanted above the bay window like a nice decoration. I couldn't find one that suited what I was looking for. So what I did instead was I added overhanging window decorations to the other window and added just these little hanging art pieces instead. I think something like really simple would have suited above very well, but I decided to just... Sorry, a bird just ran into the window. Oh my god. Okay. Well, anyway, no birds are running into the windows here. That was interesting. Anyway, I wanted to just keep it a little bit more simple. So, because I couldn't find that nice little simple decoration, I decided not to have any. And that is that. Now in here, as you can tell / guess, this is going to be their formal dining room. And as their family grows, it's going to be probably their main dining room when they eat together. I do one outside, I believe. So you'll see that there too. But this is the dining room. Again, I tried to keep it with really nice dark brown tones to match the kitchen. And just to feel very mature and adult-like. I wanted this to be a family home, but like a family home with parents that still wanted to have like their independence from their children, and I think this formal dining room very much represents that, along with the kitchen. Especially as like kids mature, they will mature with the space too, so these two spaces are already ready. This is definitely how my dining room in my house was. It was very fancy and only used for adult parties, not for kids. But as I grew up, it was fantastic because I hosted a lot of my friends over there, and so that's what I'm thinking about this home. They've built it like they've really invested for the future. So although this dining room is definitely not super kid friendly, there's no high chairs and there's like many wine cabinets, it's an investment for the future. Which compared to my other house, it's the one next door, that was very family oriented. All of that is like they will grow with the kids, so if they ever decided to renovate, they would probably do it after the kids. And did you see that all of the lighting messed up when I added a wall? So I am very glad that we just caught that on camera. It makes me very mad and I can't figure it out. Now I did, as you can see, add an extra wall. I think this was a smart idea. It broke up the space whilst still allowing for a lot of flow and functionality. And that is that. Now for the living room, this is going to be the main living room. It took me a long time, as we're about to see, fast forwarded, a long time to pick out the right couch, because I wanted it to be fancy, but I didn't want it to be too regal, if that makes sense. So this chair, like this set that I do, it was kind of a happy medium. It just took me a while to figure it out. So I'm not super in love with this living room set, but I didn't want it to be too chill. I told you I really wanted this to look a bit fancy and a bit expensive. And so these chairs, I think, were suited what I wanted, but were not really what I wanted. So I think the whole entire downstairs space in all is very mature. Like, it's very regal, very fancy, and that is that. I really love it. I love the living room. I think that is very well done. Oh, not the living room, sorry, the dining room. The living room is probably my least favorite space in this house, just because I don't really like the couches, and I wish there was a different rug that fit that size. But I do love this little plant corner, because one of the parents, he is a plant aficionado. Maybe he's a gardener or a botanist or a horticulturist or something that does something with plants, but he does something, maybe he's a plant designer. Anyway, they have this bouquet of plants in the corner, and I'm just pretending that like it's all the plans he's taken home from work that were going to be discarded, or he has plans to put them somewhere in the house. He just has this little corner that he like has to wait and discover where he's going to put them in the house. So that was my idea behind that little garden bouquet. I do think the living room does look nice. I just wish I had different couches, but there were no couches, again, that fit my design idea. So I think this was a happy medium. But I will admit, looking at it, it is a very mature space to have with children. Like, you know how some houses have like the family living room and then a formal living room? I never understood that. But like, this to me is a formal living room. So would the kids hang out in it? I hope so. But they don't have a casual living room to hang out in instead. So obviously this would be the choice, but I always found those formal and casual living rooms just very interesting. Mainly probably because I had never lived in a house with 2 living rooms. Or if we did have 2 like living rooms, they were both casual. They were not very formal. I think they're really cool, those formal ones, because I like the sculptures that are normally there. Anyway. That's what I think about formal living rooms. I think they are interesting. Here we are on the 3rd floor. This is also different from my other 2 houses. Those other 2 houses only have 2 floors. I wanted to add a 3rd floor because I wanted there to be an independent space for the parents. Which, as you can see in this whole build, it's a family home, but with a real emphasis on it, like the parents decorating and living in it to express themselves. So they have like places of solace, like this bedroom is theirs and theirs alone, and then the 2nd floor is the kids, and then the 1st floor is like a family space but a little bit more adulty. So it's not like a heavily focused kids home. I hope that makes sense to you guys. I don't know if there's a specific proper name for it, like, you know, but it's a family home, but with a bit more of adult influence, I think, than my other builds, which have been a bit more of a kid influence. Yeah, I think that's a good way to explain it. So anyway, this is the parents' bedroom. Very simple, very mature. A cool space to hang out, in all honesty. So I do also like having this living room up here, because it means that if the kids all wanted to hang out when they're older in the living room by themselves and watch a movie, and the parents didn't want to watch it with them, they could come up here and watch TV instead. And I loved adding this divider to the space. Again, really just wanted to throw a bit of greenery in there, and I think it suited the space very, very well. Now, the family only currently has 1 toddler, so that is who I am building this room for. I wanted the room to have like sea vibes, like be blue, be very warm and cozy, just to match the wallpapers. The wallpaper, there's not 2 wallpapers in this build. I've actually never used the like colorful types of wallpapers solely for kids' rooms. It's normally like a statement wall, but I think this was just different for me. It was fun, and again, I was telling you how I was making this build to be like more influenced by the parents' designs. The kids' rooms are totally against that. Like, I think the kids' rooms really encapsulate this is a child's room. There's lots of color, lots of fun, lots of toys. Like, it's a place that they can just be themselves, whereas that formal dining room is not a place that they could be themselves. So I think it's a very multifunctional house. I hope you see that. It was also really fun to use these hexagon bookcases in like as like a statement piece. I think it looks really nice, and I added a little penguin. I have to. You can't see his legs because otherwise he would be floating. So. That's fine. That's totally fine. Now this little corner is going to be like his little sanctuary where all of his toys and stuff are. And I think actually out of all of the spaces, this kid's room is my favorite, which I rarely say. I watched a YouTube video recently of a simmer being like, oh, my favorite rooms to build are the kids' rooms, and I am the opposite of that. I think I like building parents/teen rooms more. But this kid room I love. I adore it. I love the color scheme. I just love how all of it is laid out. It looks very welcoming and very friendly. And I am very, very content with it. I mean, those chairs in that little corner, oh, it is so cute. The parents can sit there and read with their child. Adorable. Do not worry, I did add a plant into their room. And then I threw a few stuffed animals around. These are all from Nifty Knitting. And again, I just love them. I think they're so adorable. And that is the whole entire space. Now for the hallway, I wanted it to be where they keep all of their laundry and stuff, because they do have a washing machine, so that the hallway wasn't like wasted space. And I think this one little thing suits it well. And I put a bucket of toys out there, so maybe they can just carry that bucket anywhere and play wherever they like. But that was the design behind the hallway. And then I left the other two rooms up here completely blank, because that was intentional. I didn't just forget to do them. I wanted them to stay blank so that they could be built/furnished when they have more children. So that was the decision behind that. They wanted to have 3 kids, so they bought a 4-bedroom house, and that is that. It also would be kind of cool if you just wanted to download this build and have only like 1 kid or only 2 kids, or no kids. No, for 1 or 2 kids, you could transform one of those rooms instead into like a study or a fitness room. I think those would suit the space really well. Or a second living room. Ooh, a casual living room. That would be hilarious. So up here is the parents' bedrooms. It's also funny, I decorated the bathrooms last this time, like interior wise, and I normally decorate them first because I find them very boring. They're always very similar. You know what you need in a bathroom, you don't really mix it up. But I decorated these last, and I do like how they turned out. I love the wallpaper. I think it suits the space so well. And it's I would have that wallpaper in a heartbeat. It is so beautiful. And then this here is going to be the massive, like, guest bathroom, but they have a jacuzzi. This is the first time I've added it. I don't know if you'd call it a jacuzzi. I think it is a jacuzzi. Like a home, anyway. I added a jacuzzi, and I haven't had a jacuzzi in any of my builds in ages. And I was like, oh, this place is fancy, because they have a jacuzzi. So that was so cool to add that into the build. And this was also just such a large bathroom space. Designing and figuring out how to decorate it was a little bit difficult for me, but I think it turned out just fine. I think it turned out just fine. And I do think adding these mirrors really helped, again, make the space even look bigger, even though it's a quite big bathroom. For the patio, I wanted to put in a lot of gardening objects because, again, one of the parents is a gardener, and I realized when I was doing this, I was like, he has no place to plant his crops. And as for The Sims, the only way you can do gardening is with the planters or in the ground. I decided to add the planters and throw in some little insect farms and honey farms, which I think was a good use of the space because the patio is massive. This is massive outdoor space. And this is again different for me too. Instead of doing a massive giant dining room, I decided to do an outdoor living space, which I think also suited it really, really nicely. This is here me adding another jungle gym, and then upon reflection realizing I already had a jungle gym, so don't worry, that goes away in a second. And that's that. Just do a little bit of landscaping. I wanted it to be very similar to the other houses and just very warm and welcoming. That's the concept behind the landscaping, and I hope you like it. I really did have fun though adding these 3 trees, like the pink trees, to the 3 builds I've done so far. It just, I think, really connects all the houses, especially since they're all the same color. Because I wanted them intentionally to be the same color, but having that pink little tree just really brightens up the whole entire space. So I think these are beautiful, very welcoming houses so far. It's just been fun. I don't really build with, like, for very family homes like this big, like big family homes of mine. I normally do tiny family homes. So it's been fun doing something a little bit different, and I do appreciate all of those that are still watching this, because they are longer videos than normal. And let me know below if you're watching if you'd like me to split them up into shorter clips, or a longer clip is nicer. I think maybe a longer clip is better, just so you don't have to have 2 parts, and then I don't know, let me know what you think below. I'm comfortable doing it either way, but for now I'll just stick to making it one video. I know I've broken one video into 2 parts, but I was like, you know what, if it's gonna be a long video, it's gonna be a long video. I always encourage people to fast forward and watch at a speed that they enjoy. So this is pretty much the whole entire build. Let's go and tour it. So welcome to the Dawson Lee family home with some beautiful landscaping. In we go. This is the living room. Very, very regal, very fancy, with our beautiful corner of plants. And then our massive bathroom. I'm also 100% certain 1 tree clipped when I built this. So if you did download this build, you can just move the tree. This is the kitchen, and then the formal dining room. I do think this space is beautiful. It's second place now after the kids' room, but I do love how complementary the dining room and kitchen are. Up we go onto the 2nd floor. Here in the hallway we have our little laundry space, and then down we go to the only decorated room on this hall, minus bathroom, the kids' room, which I love. The colors complement each other so well, blues and greens. And the kid, I just would love to have this space as a child. It looks very, very comfortable and friendly. An empty room to build in. Another empty room to build in, and then the bathroom. And then the last floor is the parents' 3rd floor bedroom. Massive, massive bedroom with massive, massive speed issues. Like, I don't know what's going on, people. I decided not to slow it down this time because it was just 1 room, so I hope you don't mind that. And then here we are outside with our beautiful pool and garden space. And I hope you enjoy that too. We also have a little jungle gym out there. But that is the whole entire build. Oh my goodness. Yay. Thank you so much for watching this Dawson Lee family home build. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.